After my first CEO role, it became apparent to me that a lot of the shared services, especially when it comes to operations and supply chain, core of excellence or center of excellence, what we take for granted is that they are like the weatherman. When you get the weather right, nobody gives you credit. When you get the weather wrong, everyone is all over them. And it made it very clear to me that unless they have a voice, as we have discussions on strategy, growth, innovation, execution, financial planning, we are missing a very big piece of what could help a company accelerate, turn around, and reinvent itself.
That is excellent. I think one of the things that we believe in very strongly and advocate for is making sure that CSCOs and supply chain leaders have a voice at the table. And that's something that I truly see come across in your vision and in your strategy. In my mind, that makes a huge difference. From our vantage point, we've seen a number of really amazing brands not being able to survive or thrive because they were not able to bring the supply chain leaders, all of the different aspects that need to be considered in planning, delivering the manifestation of the goods that need to be in the customer's hands can only be possible if the supply chain leadership is involved. What is your framework for making sure that there is an ability to identify those, to your point, the weatherman type of a mentality, that there might be something you want to look out for? It might rain, take an umbrella. How do you involve supply chain leaders from that perspective?
So first and foremost is giving them the right title. A lot of companies, they will never really have a chief title. It's always either a senior director, sometimes VP. By virtue of the titling and the authority that you give to this individual and the caliber that you're hiring for already speaks volumes to the rest of the organization. Because the organization is going to say, if this person, who even though is involved in meetings, does not carry the clout, the authority, nor the autonomy. So it is very important that not only the caliber of the individual, but right titling the position. First and foremost, it may be optics, but optics and perception, as we all know, is 99% of reality.
Yeah.
And when you do have this person sitting at the table with having that strategy discussion, that execution discussion, and where growth is going to come from, make sure that their voice is being heard and not being an afterthought. I've seen it happen a lot of times. If the CEO undermines that role, very often the rest of the organization will do. And I constantly use this analogy with not only my C-suite, but the entire company, with supply chain and operations and manufacturing in the room, so that they know they are hearing it directly, is to actually say, look, we can have the best marketing plan, and we will. We have the best product, we articulate it, we push it through our retailers, there's great buy-in. And you have nowhere to get those goods into the hands of the retailers. Your own brand.com cannot ship on time, and you are not able to get inventory even at the right place at the right time. Guess what? Everything is theoretical. So in theory, you would have had a great launch. In theory, you would have had great revenue. But in practice, what you have now done is create a lot of frustration, a lot of friction, both with your retailers, your vendors, and everyone else, including the end consumers. So when you can see and play the program forward and imagine, when people come, say, imagine a world without a company, without supply chain. And I can guarantee you, even if the owners and the senior exec teams are willing to pack boxes and ship things out and take it to wherever it needs to go, it will never be quite the same if we did it right the first time. So I think it's very important, wherever, at whatever stage our company is, recognize the fact that it is part and parcel of success. We saw that very clearly during COVID, where supply chain became the focal point for so many brands because things were getting stuck at the port or things were not being delivered from their source or origin.